I'm not as good as Pat, and I don't want to cry, so I'm going to read. And forgive my accent. I just happen to be Puerto Rican. First of all, good evening. I'm Gloria, Ramon's sister. Thank you very much for coming today to celebrate his life. Maybe Tim, you have to read this. Ramon was my little brother, the love of my life. He's the reason I moved to this beautiful state of Minnesota, facing another long, frigid winter. Now I'm the guardian of Fito and Mrs. Mao, and the ones of you that had met Fito know that he's a handful. Thank you, little brother. As Pat said it very well, Ramon loves music, his cat, cigars, and that silly, tiny black car. But most of all, he loved his friends, all of you. He had a strong personality frequently, and frequently made him lose his temper, resulting sometimes in hurting someone's feelings. But the real Ramon had a big, soft, loving heart. In reality, he was a kitten, not a lion. For many years, one of his many goals and maybe dreams was to have a jazz band and play his beloved Brazilian music. He tried and tried to put it together, but complained that he could not find a bass player. The band never materialized. My dear brother, I hope that wherever you are now, you are smoking a Cuban cigar and playing your piano along with a great bass player. I also hope that you enjoy your last swim in the ocean in Puerto Rico, the swim that took your spirit to a peaceful rest at last. May you never forget that the higher power was always with you. Thank you.
My name's Karen and I'm an alcoholic. Ramon and I shared Wednesday meeting, 12:30, and for a while we would go out after the meeting and hang out for the afternoon, and during those times Ramon taught me 3 really important things. Ramon and I shared a love of art, a love of music, and a love of poetry. Oh, by the way, Pat, I rode in that little car and he did not drive slow. I feared for my life down St. Clair Avenue. But anyway, Ramon taught me to love art, and differently than I had analyzed art before. And he taught me it through Renoir. And he took me to his house and showed me his posters and his art, and he taught me that it's okay to love art for the pure audacity of beauty. And then Ramon once played this piece of music he had written, and he had written it for a Pablo Neruda poem that he loved, and we both loved Pablo Neruda. And he got on his knees and he sang the Pablo Neruda poem to me, and he was singing it in English, even though it was in Spanish, and then he sang it in Spanish, and it was really beautiful and very sweet, and opened up for me a new understanding of my friend, that the passion that people speak of was actually very pure and very beautiful, and not always so hotly inspired as Ramon and I locked horns on occasions, and I experienced that passion as well. So he essentially taught me that music and poetry are the same. And the last thing that Ramon taught me was by his living. He taught me that the number of years behind your name on medallion night does not not translate into a PhD in anything. Ramon taught me that we have 24 hours, and that's it. And even if we're beginning that 24 hours anew each day, or every 3 days, or every 30 days, we can do it with the same passion that Ramon did it, with the same intent, the same desire to be sober. But even though I have almost 2 years, I know that all I really have is 24 hours. And I thank you, Ramon. I really value that lesson.
Hi, I'm Sara.
Hi, Sara.
I didn't know if I would say anything, but I think I need to. I think I might have been Ramon's last bass player. I had the pleasure of playing with him, and people who were at the Friday night meeting know he lobbied me to do it for a long time. I didn't have the time in my life, but boy, when we got together, it was a huge privilege. He was the finest musician I ever had the pleasure of playing music with. And we too, like others, shared love for Pablo Neruda. And he came out to see me read my poetry last year in a time when I was going through difficult experiences, as did some others of you. And boy, he was there. So I thought I would share with you one of the Pablo Neruda poems that we shared. And those Spanish speakers in the audience who are native speakers, forgive me if I miss any of this. De tanto andar una región que no figuraba en los libros, me acostumbré a las tierras tercas en que nadie me preguntaba si prefería la menta o las lechugas que devoran los elefantes. Y de tanto no responder, tengo el corazón amarillo. From spending so much time in regions not written down in books, I became accustomed to stubborn lands in which nobody asked me if I liked lettuce or if I preferred mint like the elephants eat. And from offering so little response, I have a yellow heart. Ramon did not have a yellow heart. He might have wandered around in stubborn lands, but his heart was of every other color. So, thank you.